Hello, guys, and welcome to another Roadside Chat from Studio. So today's question is how do you fix a Miranda violation? Now, first of all, Miranda violations come in two flavors, intentional and unintentional. An intentional Miranda violation occurs, just like it sounds, when an officer intentionally plays loose and fast with the Miranda rules in order to get more confessions. It often looks like this. An officer will interview an in-custody suspect without Miranda, so Miranda would be required, get them to talk about the crime, maybe confess, maybe give admissions, then do something like this. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give you Miranda. You have the right to remain silent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you understand those rights? Okay, cool. Hey, so what happened again? And then the suspect, thinking that the cat is out of the bag, just repeats the same story, and that's the confession that the officer uses. Now, if this sounds shady, oh, it's like an elm tree. There's no way that you're going to be able to use any of those confessions before or after. And if the suspect found out that you did that, he can turn around and sue you for a civil rights violation, and he deserves every penny, because that is just not the way we work. Now, an unintentional violation happens to everybody, okay? At one point in time or more, you're going to make a Miranda mistake. Why? Because it's an honest mistake. So, for example, you thought that the person was Mirandized, but they weren't. You gave a Miranda warning, but it was defective for one reason or another. It happens to the best of us. So how do you fix those violations? Here's how. The court wants to see that you cleansed the Miranda violation. That's the word that they used, cleansed. And how do you cleanse this? Well, there's certain factors that will come in to determine whether or not it's been cleansed so that it no longer has the initial unlawful taint, okay? I know you're probably thinking some jokes right now, but I can't go there, right? So how do you cleanse it? Elapsed time. You interviewed them at 9 a.m., you had an improper Miranda, or you thought that they were Mirandized, but you come to find out that they weren't proper Mirandized. Okay, let some time go by, maybe a couple hours. Different location. The interview occurred on scene. You made a mistake. You're like, okay, now let's wait to re-interview them at the station. That will help you. That will also give you some time, but also different location mentally helps the suspect not feel as coerced or the cat is out of the bag type of mentality. Different officer. If I'm the one that interviewed the person originally and they told me, they gave me a confession, well, let's have another officer reapproach the suspect and get a valid Miranda waiver and so forth. Because psychologically, from the suspect's point of view, he does not feel the same as the cat out of the bag type of philosophy. Telling the suspect that the previous statements cannot be used. Now, these are all factors, okay? You do not need to do all of these. You can do a few and be okay. It's going to depend on the severity of the violation and so forth. But this is going to be one of those factors that is great if you can do it, and the person will be, okay, you can't use that previous statement, but I'll still talk to you. That would be great. But it's also one of those factors that in the real world, a person may shut down on you after they learn that you cannot use their confession. And finally, a fresh waiver. If the original waiver was defective. So for example, you're reading Miranda to a person, they shut you off and say, look, I know my rights. I've been arrested 10 times. I want to speak with you. Some newer officers will take that as a valid waiver and start interviewing them. But if you've been to my classes or you've been through this before, that you need to read Miranda in its entirety in order to effectively prove that they gave you a valid waiver. So that would be a violation, and we want to, of course, fix the original waiver. And also, even if you had seemingly a valid reading of the waiver, we still want to do it again if we can, especially if it's also in writing. So those are factors. One of the officer asked me a question in a sense of what happened was the officer realized that there was not a waiver in place, so gave him the waiver and just picked up again and re-interviewed him again. So none of those cleansing factors seemed to be in place with that scenario. There was no new location, new officer, time, telling the person that they can't be used, and so forth. So that is going to hurt the officers in that situation. So we want to do something proactive to cleanse the unlawful, the unintentional violation. There it is. I hope I moved the ball forward. Now, before you leave, if you have not seen the brand new Blue to Gold University online, you got to see it. It's all of our classes are on demand. We still do them live, which is a great, training method. You get questions answered. There's camaraderie, but there's so much to be said about the on-demand opportunities as well, because some officers, especially if you work nights, you can't go to a live class. Here it is. So the website is ondemand.bluetogold.com. ondemand.bluetogold.com. You got to check it out. The pricing right now is extremely low just to get people signed up, and their money should not be a hesitation. Okay? Do not let money prevent you from signing on to the best on-demand search and seizure training in the nation. Hands down, I guarantee it. Until next time, stay safe.
When it comes to legal training, we're the gold standard. Visit bluetogold.com or call 888-579-7796 today to purchase the Search and Seizure Survival Guide, register for a class, or learn how to bring our search and seizure training to your agency.